For those of you that are into watches, this is a collection of my Tissot watches, wrist watches. Um, I like this brand. It's well priced. As a Swiss-made watch, it's got a pretty good reputation and a fairly good tradition and history behind the watchmaking of this make of watch. So I'll go through them and tell you a little bit about them. One of my favourites for many years was this watch here. It was my daily watch that I would wear year after year. I'd wear this watch. I think I bought it about 20 years ago now. Still in lovely condition. Not too sure of the batteries on some of these. I might have to replace them. I don't use them so much, so the batteries do tend to deteriorate just sitting in the cabinet. Still a sharp looking watch. The PR50, believe it's rated for 50 meters. Swiss made. Just has a little touch of gold on the bezel. Otherwise, it's a stainless steel watch. Nice band, very light, and a pleasure to wear. Clear face to read. I find it very easy to read. Nice with the date as well. But I haven't had it as my daily for a few years now. Probably haven't worn it much for about 10 years. Okay, this is my next favourite daily watch that I also wore for a number of years, but no longer really wearing it that much. Do love this one. It's got a beautiful face to it. The bezel is able to be rotated, and just a sharp looking watch, beautifully made. I keep it in good condition, very few signs of wear, a little bit of scratching on the bezel from just use. But yes, a nice watch, easy face to read. Got the date down the bottom here as well. Having a little bit of trouble focusing down there. Swiss made at the bottom, of course. 100 meters, I believe that one is. Very nice that it has the luminous hands and the luminous face, which work pretty well in the dark and low light levels. But again, it was my daily. I don't really wear it these days. Stainless steel, fairly heavy, solid watch. It's got a nice feel on your wrist. You really feel like you've got a watch on. This is one of my favourites. This is a gold case. Well, it would be gold plated. I bought this watch about 30 years ago. And I just like the classic style of this watch. Looks like the battery's actually given up on this one at the moment. I've got a lovely leather strap on it. Don't wear it very much. Sometimes I may put it on as a dress watch, but it was a daily for a while at one stage, but you know how it goes. I just wore it for a while and then felt that I wanted to change. I do sort of prefer a sports watch at times when I'm mucking around doing things. This watch here was probably the one I started wearing after I didn't wear this one. Okay, this here is one of my real favourites. It's a beautiful watch. Fairly old too. I believe this is probably in the 70s. Just try and get a bit of focus on it. The light's not really doing it justice. It's got a powdery gold face. Just a beautiful watch. One of the earlier quartz movements. Got two fairly large batteries in there, and you can see the oscillator and all of the stepper motor controls for the hands in the back of this one. Pretty good condition. I've looked after it over the years. A little bit of sign of age. Got a nice red lizard skin strap on this one. Well, I think it just sets off the gold nicely with the red, bright red actually, looks really nice. It's a fairly solid watch, fairly heavy, but a lovely watch to wear, and it catches your eye, really does. It's just a pleasure to look at. A little Tissot down here on the winder and everything. It's just a genuine old watch in good condition. No real rubbing on the case. The case is pretty darn good condition. Okay, then another favourite of mine. Another Sea Star. This one here is a quartz, of course. This one here is a quartz. This one here is a quartz, and this one here is a quartz. So this one here is my first automatic one in the collection here, and I do love wearing this one. It's got a lovely sized face. There you go. I've just been moving it, so she's ticking away lovely there. Day and date. Tissot, a nice looking face, and in pretty good condition actually. A little bit of rubbing now in the case. I believe this would also be a 70s, maybe early 80s watch. Probably had this one for about 20 years. This one over 20 years. And I do wear this a bit actually. I just like the look of it. It's got a nice large, it's a fairly large watch on your wrist, and it looks smart, and it catches your eye a little bit because it's a little bit classic, and nice shape to the casing. It sort of contours in, and it's not too large. And of course automatic is one of my favorites. It's just got that tactileness to it. It keeps reserve well overnight into the next morning. Pretty much once you've been wearing it, if you wear it every day, you don't have any problems with having to wind it or give it a shake or anything. She's very good reserve on the spring on this one. Okay, this one here is a quartz, and this is probably one of my dress watches that I'd wear if I'm going out. Beautiful band. Just a beautiful old watch. Fairly common. You'll see this one all over the world. A fairly thin case, and gold, of course, gold dust on the back. Not as nice as the gold dust on this one here. This one really catches the sunshine very nicely. This one here also does catch the sunshine, but not to the same extent. Just a nice watch to wear out in an evening if you're going for a meal somewhere. You just want a nice piece of jewellery on. It's nice and simple, and it's I think it is a nice easy watch to wear. Okay, this is my daily. This is the watch I wear all of the time. This is my T-Touch. It's heavy. It feels like you've got a watch on. Just sort of come back a bit on the sides of the band here. This is probably about over 10 years old anyway, because they've changed the size of the liquid crystal display. They've made it a little bit larger, changed the shape of it. Actually, the face is a bit larger too on the later models, but it's not the first generation, because this actually has the rectangular buttons. Okay, I believe the first generation had more of a round button. So this is probably the second generation of the T-Touch, of this particular one anyway. Here's the functions of, got to remember what it does now. The compass is the main one I play around with, and the alarm is useful. The temperature part, it's not too bad, probably picks up your wrist a bit. The altimeter part, that's fairly good. It gives you an idea of height above sea level. And the chronograph part, of course. Little stepper in there. It sort of moves about every quarter of a minute. We might actually see it move off. And it's my daily. This is the watch that I wear all of the time. I have been wearing it for a few years now. Just like wearing it. It's a nice, easy watch to wear. It's a reasonably nice face as well, quite easy to read. Um, it's clear and simple. At the same time, it's not a cheap watch. It looks good on your wrist when I'm doing business, etc. It's a nice watch to wear. Anybody that does know the Tissot Touch knows that it's a watch that deserves respect. Beautifully crafted, no nonsense watch, tough, and no no mucking around with this watch. It's a good watch to wear. So in the future, I am actually looking at buying another T-Touch, a little bit later model, titanium. I think that'd be nice. They're very light, and they're they have quite a nice face. Try and get one with maybe a white face or the black face. So some of these watches I've bought new, and some of them I've bought second hand. I trade a little bit, but not so much presently, but have done a bit of trading of watches in the past. But this is my total collection that I have at the moment of the Tissots, or Tissot, however you like to pronounce them. So, what is my real favourite? Oh my gosh, that's hard to really say. I do like them all for different reasons. Maybe you'd comment which one you like the most. Tissot has got a good brand for reliability, worldwide servicing, and is a mid-range priced watch, sitting down below, say, Rado and the Omegas. In fact, a couple of these, I believe, have got an Omega. Oh, not this one, so no, these are pretty much, I think there might be an ETA movement in this one here. It's a while since I've had the backs off, actually. I do my own battery changes, so you can imagine I've got a whole range of battery sizes, but I've got a little bit slack on a couple of them by the looks of it, as the batteries have run down. So yeah, at the moment, my daily is the Tissot Touch, the T-Touch. Just a nice watch to wear, and you've got it on. You pick it up, put it on your wrist, and you can feel it there all day, which I don't mind. It's sort of comforting to know you got your watch on. A little bit old school. Even though I have the time on my phone, I do actually still prefer to have a wristwatch. And I remember as a child always admiring watches that other men were wearing and thinking to myself, wow, I'd love to be able to have a watch like that sometime. A watch that is a watch that you can admire, a watch that you can see the craftsmanship in it, something a little bit different than what you see every day, and nice craftsmanship in the casings, etc. Okay, well, hopefully you found this little collection of Tissots interesting to you. Some of you, I'm sure, will be wearing one. This is probably what brought you to look at this video, and I'm sure you're having a lot of joy having your Tissot, and this may inspire you to maybe share with others your collection of Tissots. Tissot. Okay, I'll finish off looking down on my daily.